All right. If you're watching the commercials, I appreciate it. Gave me time to eat a sandwich. I'm going to turn off the heat now. I let it warm up as much as I could, but I can't run the heat and the power tools at the same time. So let's get started. We're going to attempt a yo-yo. And I always say attempt because yo-yos are hard to make. And this will be out of one piece. I don't have the mechanism and everything for with the bearing and the blank to make them easy. So we're going to make it out of one piece. It's going to be great, and it might work. I am just eyeballing the center point. Doesn't really matter. I do want to get it the thickest I can, so the biggest around will be about like that, which is probably perfect for a yo-yo at this end. So I'm going to put a 10 in at this end. This end's a little bit smaller, although I think either one is the same. All right, we'll get it round, put a 10 in, put the chuck on, and then work on our yo-yo. All right. I'm gonna adjust my face shield because I have a hat on. It's a little cold, I'd say it's probably about 45 in the garage, Fahrenheit. It is snowing outside, so it's colder outside. All right. All right, we already got it on its way to being round. One thing I love about firewood is it's already kind of smallish and easy to use on the lathe. The other thing I don't like about firewood is it's already smallish. I try to cut some of the really sticky outy parts to make it as round as I can, but you can't really get anything big with firewood if it's already been split. So I'm going to speed up. Todd is in. Todd, my favorite wood turner from Southern Ohio. We've also got Giuseppe, Clem, Antonio, XLEM. I don't know how to say that. XLEM 17. We'll call it LEM. We'll make the X silent. Scott is in. Kumar is in. Matt's in. Hey, Matt. How you doing? Gus is in. All right. So I do these live streams. Right now it is almost noon. I am home from my job for lunch. I only work about 2 miles from my house. So I can come home, turn on the heater in the garage, make a sandwich, start the live stream, finish a decent project, and get back to work in about an hour. Doing a live stream. No, I'm not doing a live stream elsewhere. You don't see any of those names? So it looks like I should be able to get several, maybe 3 yo-yos out of this. We'll definitely get 2. It's all lined up. We'll get it started with the live center, and then I'll have to take it off eventually. Probably 2, because I want a good amount of space on either side. All right. I love using the skew. It's just such a nice surface. So nice. All right, so this is going to be the outside edge. I'm not going to make it any smaller than that. So I'm probably going to make it between here and here. That's a good outside dimension. So we need to get a center point. I'm going to try to use millimeters. Let's see if millimeters works. We're going to go inside of line to inside. So one problem with using calipers in a pencil is that line is like 1.5 millimeters wide. So you got to be careful. So we were at 36. So I'm going to go to 18. Sometimes I like to use millimeters because it's just a good spread of numbers, whole numbers. Okay, there's 8, there's the center. And then we'll probably do about 4.5 millimeter wide groove. About that. Somewhere around there. All right, and that is going to be the yo-yo, the main part of the yo-yo. All right, so the other thing then, what I do is I get my thicker cutoff tool, and that's what I use to cut in the sides. So that is pretty much the shape we're gonna, or the size. I'm gonna round the edges, just gonna be a simple design. Let's see. April Marsh. Do you sell any of your woodworking? Do you have a website? From Marsh, Greenville, South Carolina. South Carolina. Bad. What's the temperature there? Like, it is freezing here. It's literally freezing. No, I don't sell stuff. I just make YouTube videos. It seems like a lot of work to sell things. If there's something you're interested in all of the videos that I've made, feel free to message me and we'll work something out. Usually just a little bit plus shipping. But no, I don't really sell anything. All right. So what I did just there is I went halfway. So I'm going to take my tool and cut halfway and go 45, 45, and then come to the next one, cut halfway, and it just rounds it off real easy. So the hardest part is always getting the two sides even, because it's really impossible to know till it's cut off and you try it. That seems pretty good. You could end up just taking material off too much. That looks pretty good. All right, I'm gonna take a little bit more out of the middle. All right, a little bit more off the sides. Starting to take shape. There is a definite thickness that you want to do for a yo-yo. For my yo-yos, being that they're wood, that center post will polish and it'll make it harder and harder to get the yo-yo to wind back up. It gets it real smooth. So I like to leave them a little bit larger center. That feels pretty good. Let's do some sanding. All right. Kate, bowl or spin? All right, let me go back because I see some questions here that I need to talk about. All right. My mouse. There we go. Okay, making a yo-yo, bowl or spindle gouge. So this is my spindle roughing gouge. This is my spindle gouge. You can see they're smaller metal thickness. And then the skew. Love the skew. My parting tool, the thick one. And then I did use a carbide. I'm not using a bowl gouge. Getting into spinning bowls, I'm scared of that tool always catches. Okay, what tool are you using? Because you should not be using any of these tools for bowls. Maybe a carbide, but none of the other ones. All the other tools are for spindle turning, where you can see the grain is going this way. If you're turning bowls, you do not want to use these tools. You want to use a bowl gouge. That would be like this. Has much more material. I've seen where people have broken these and the metal will actually break, and you don't want that. A catch is one thing, but actual broken one, bowl gouge. Yeah, if you're using a bowl gouge, you don't want to do your final cut on the bottom with the bowl gouge either. I would use like a round scraper, something like that. Todd is in the chat. You can check out his channel too. And Todd is a great wood turner, makes some really nice stuff. He has some really good advice. All right, I'm going to go to, this is my thin parting tool, and this is a DeWalt Sawzall blade. And I'm gonna just part the very edges. Not all the way, just part of the way. All right, now we can sand a little bit more. I'm going to use a finer sandpaper, but I'm not going to do the inside, only the outside. All right, and we can sand the edges a little bit later. And we are really kind of done. I'm gonna make sure I get the inside edges where the string rests. You don't want the string to catch. You want it to go real smooth. All right, let's put some wax on it. Hold the tool downward. If it dug in, it probably came off the bevel. Yeah, and you want to make sure you get your tool rest pretty close. You saw I had it like real close, like that. Like you don't want, some guys will keep it far enough that if a finger goes in, it won't like break their finger. I like to not even let a finger in there. No skin past the tool rest. Don't overhang anything. All right, so this is my abrasive paste. It's basically beeswax and mineral oil with some abrasive in it. And I am not going to let it get inside. We're going to keep that non-waxed. This is some pretty nice timber here. Okay. All right, let's get it clean. Get all that wax off of there. I think this is pear. I'm not 100% sure what this wood is. All right. All right. I don't know what else to do. We look pretty even. This side might be a little bit heavy, but I I'm gonna leave it because you do too much and you never know. All right, so we're going to loosen up the end stock, not totally off, but enough that I can cut that. All right. I'm going to use my spindle gouge and just kind of clean that up. This is an advantage on the non-chuck side. You can actually finish this side. The chuck side you can't really finish on the lathe. Whew, that's nice. Right on there. Almost done. 11:46. I've got 15 minutes. What else? Am I forgetting anything? I think we're good. I'm going to part the other side. I'm going to pull up this sleeve so I can not get it caught in the lathe. And there we go. All right, so I need to sand this side, clean it up a little bit. So let's take this out. Maybe we'll make another one tomorrow. I know my lathe came with a tool to hold the chuck, but I had one cut out at work that's thicker, stronger. Makes it a lot easier. Where's the string? I got string. Got a bunch of strings. I got to sand the other side. Starting to get cold again in the garage. It was warming up nice. We probably got up to about 55. I can't seem to get my heater to go to Fahrenheit on millimeter or metric Celsius. Can't figure it out. It's a little mini split I put in. All right. Get that sanded. you're using a lathe, somebody told me once, you never want people to know how you held the material. So always get rid of your tenon, your mortise, however you can do it. You can still see some circles there. I don't want to take too much off. That looks pretty even. Put some wax on it. Sometimes I will burn in my logo on one of the sides, or both, or whatever. Oh yeah, YoYo, sorry. YoYo. Kate, you know what? If you watch tomorrow around the same time, I will make a bowl and we'll go through the steps. Definitely. So tune in. If I forget, guys, remind me. But yeah, let's do that. I'll use basic tools, show you my sharpening setup, all that stuff. All right, we're going to try this. My success rate for making yo-yos out of one piece is about 33%. I would say 1 out of every 3 works good. Not great, but good. Probably 1 out of 10 is great. So these yo-yo strings, you can get them off Amazon. You want to get a yo-yo string. Don't try just any string. It is wound so that one end is the loop, and then they wind it back on itself. The other end is tied, and I'll show you what that's all about. But this end, what you're going to do is hold that and unwind it. It's not easy. You got to use 2 hands or get a tool, but I'm going to unwind it. Let it go. You've got to get it separated. Okay, got it separated enough, got my finger in it. I'm going to unwind it a little bit more, get 2 fingers. There we go. Okay, now what I'm going to do is unwind that and put it around the yo-yo, and then kind of pull it, wind it back up. So it is now looped. I don't know if you can see it. Looped around that yo-yo. Okay. Then, pan out. Okay. Then, I'll wait till my monitor catches up. You want the yo-yo at your waist is where you want a loop to knot it. Yeah, so right here at my waist, I'm gonna take this string, loop it up, and I'm gonna tie a knot right there. So there's already a loop in the end, but we're not gonna use that. That's a little bit too long for me. Most people have a higher waist than me. I have little short legs. But that's where you want it. And then loop that around again. I'm not great at tying knots. I don't know. I have short legs and short little fingers. Okay, so that's the knot. This is the original knot. That's the new knot. I'm going to cut that off. using my skew. Should be able to do it. There we go. All right. Then I'm going to put a loop through it and put that on my middle finger. Tighten it up. And I like it on the outside, right there, right in front of that second knuckle. All right, then when you're rolling it, a lot of people have trouble starting because that string wants to just go around. So if you put your finger out, wrap around your finger, go around, then you can take your finger out and you can get it tightened up. All right. Get this loop a little bit tighter. I like it real tight on my finger. Let's see if it works. Hey, this is pretty good. This one's a little bit rough. It works a little bit. It's a little bit rough on the edge. I can hear the string catching. Plus, whatever wood this is very light. It needs more weight. It's just the catching is more, so I should have polished that inside a little bit. I can do a little bit not on the lathe, but you can kind of see it in the shadow. It's catching, so it works. Not awesome, but it does work, and it is rough enough that it is not going to sleep at the bottom, which is what you want. I mean, you want it to sleep, not. But I'll tell you what, this is good for a kid. Kids, when the yo-yo sleeps at the bottom, they're not sure how to deal with that. So it's a good starting out yo-yo. I like not having them sleep sometimes. I just like walking in or standing at my desk at work and flicking a yo-yo, and I don't want to have to worry about it going to sleep and then have to wind it up again if it doesn't come back. Some of them are so smooth that they just never come back. So it's not bad. I need to pick a heavier wood. I'm thinking this might be cherry. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It doesn't seem like cherry, but it's just not very strong or not very heavy. And it's a little bit small, but goes pretty good. And I'll do that really hard and fast for quite a few times. Get that area, the string kind of burn in, get the string tight. Yeah, there we goofed up. All right, so it works. I would say this is probably 3 out of 10 as far as workability, greatness. Of course, 1 or 2 out of 10 doesn't work at all. Maybe 4 or 5. So, all right, I got to get back to work. It's 11:58. Oh, April, you are very welcome. I try to do Monday through Thursday, so definitely tune in, subscribe and like so that you get notifications. Check out some of the other stuff. We did a live stream Sunday afternoon. I made a Frisbee. So check that out. I'm going to edit that into a wide format. So check that out. But I got to get going. So thanks for stopping in, everybody. And go make something. Make something today. You have purpose, you have value, and you are loved. God bless.